Hi everybody and welcome to the Signal Box today. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and we'll crack on with today's video. So today I thought I would have a diesel Gala day on the railway. Just have loads of diesel thrash running today as much as possible. I am a steam man predominantly, but I do love vintage diesel and electric traction. So this is definitely something special. This is the Helgen Class 33 that I got recently as an early birthday present. Lieutenant Jenny Lewis, Royal Navy, which is the Swanage Railway loco. And I'll just get that going in a sec. And here she comes now. Complete with Southern Railway bullied coaches behind it. Just like Swanage. There she goes. I have run this locomotive in before prior to filming today, so it has been running half an hour in the forwards direction and half an hour in the reverse direction, but the more you have it out running, the better and better and smoother it will work. It has been lightly oiled before I run it today, so it's really just giving it a nice smooth run in. Definitely looks the part with those bullied coaches. And there's a nice little three-dimensional memory of my time at the Swanage Railway recently. And let's face it, that's what model railways are. They are three-dimensional working memories of something that you remember or have built as a tribute to a place or a particular railway or a moment in time. Although my layout is loosely based on the eastern region, southern region stuff does go on there with the exception of third rail stuff, but definitely this is a very nice loco and I'm very pleased with this. Let's get the Class 50 away. Okay, so we've got Lieutenant Jenny Lewis, Royal Navy 33, on track number 1 now, so she can have a proper thrash. And she's got that little rake of bullied coaches behind her. Again, a little bit of a mimic of the Swanage Railway. And then on track number 2, here comes the little Lima version. This is quite a tidy little model, and she's not a bad runner at all. Ooh, just about coping with those tight radius curves on that half of the layout around there, but she's not bad at all. She's actually pretty decent. There she comes through the station, through the tunnel, and we'll catch her coming round here. On this particular model, the other night I sat and painted the roof grills there black with some acrylic paint, so it looks a bit more better. That's the only modification I've done on it in terms of paint wise. That's about it. But obviously the top one is the Class 33 on the outside, which is Lieutenant Jenny Lewis. It's not a bad little model, is it? I think it's quite nice. I like that. Again, it's one I haven't got, so she's doing quite well coming round on track 2 there. Actually, why I was in between the next camera take, I did actually get some paint out, and I actually painted in that ballast which I put in a few weeks ago, which was already dried up lovely. So just painted that over there to match the rest of the ballast, and that looks all done now. So it is. So that's another little job I can tick off the bucket list. It's a bit like a full-size railway, this thing. It's not a full-size railway, sadly, but it's only 6x4, but it operates like a full-size railway, and that I've 101 jobs to do on this thing every single week. And if it doesn't come out for a running session after about a week or two, when I set it up normally, there's little tiny things I've got to do on it, just that I haven't done before, or little jobs to do. It's an ongoing thing, but it's a labour of love, I suppose. I did the other day very precariously sit and fit with super glue and a cocktail stick and some blue tack to hold everything to the cocktail stick whilst I super glued it. I put the brass etched nameplates and detail plates on Jenny Lewis. Might be able to catch her as she comes around there. Where is it now? I'll bring her to a stand somewhere so we can have a look at that, but yeah, they do look quite nice. That's an appalling camera shot, do apologise. I'll bring it on the level crossing. That's the best place to have a little look at that quickly. Let's bring her to a stand on the crossing. Out there. Yeah, so these are definitely worthwhile fitting up. These brass etched nameplates, they stand out on the body and they look much more nicer. And now it's all done proper. So they're on both sides, and as you can see, quite a nice tidy job, as best I could anyway. It's not an easy one, but it's sort of a hold your breath moment. Okay, on with our diesel Gala. So now on track number 1 by the passing loop, we've got this Class 52 Western in Brunswick green with an enthusiast special with those BR coaches behind it. And then on track number 2, the Hoover aka the Class 50, making its way around the layout. We've got the 33 being held in the platform over there while that goes around the loop. I tell you what, guys, this Class 50 is quite a lengthy loco. It is quite a beefy looking thing. It's quite a long thing as well. It does take up quite a large footprint in terms of track appearance. It's quite an impressive thing, and it runs lovely. It's quite a good runner. I'll bring it down a little bit. I know she's going to be a little bit jittery over those diamonds, quite possibly, but I think she'll make it just about. Ooh, a little bit there. Unfortunately, that's a byproduct of those blinking plastic diamonds, unfortunately. Like we talked about the other week in the video, not much I can do about that. But anything modern, like obviously the Helgen Class 33 over there, D6515, that has no problems over that, as you saw earlier. It's only the older locos that tend to do that. So it's something you have to live with, unfortunately. But other than that, she's pretty good. This 52 Western does look the business, I think, with this Rail Tour Special. Okay, next up on our diesel Gala day, we've got this little Lima Class 33 again. I thought I'd give it a chance to show its stuff by hauling this short rake of BR coaches around my railway this afternoon. And as you can see, more than capable. She's quite a nice runner. A little bit of a slow runner. She's not overly zippy fast. Mind you, I have got it on the brake inertia control to run this, so. But it's quite a smooth little runner. And again, this is what I've cleaned and serviced as well, so. But yeah, she's none too shabby. Obviously, the show-off machine, the poser, is over there. That's the Rolls-Royce 33, the better one. But do you know what? I quite like this as well. I like this. It's got character. And do you know what? I cannot fault the paint finish on this model for a Lima model. It's in really good nick, very good condition. That looks quite nice actually, with the sort of an imaginary rail tool. And that being shades of the Swanage Railway platform there with the 33 pulley coaches behind it, water crane signal. Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah, definitely. I think that Class 33, the Lima one there, seems to be a happy chappy. Yeah, this is the one that when I actually opened the body up and looked at the motor needed a little bit of a clean, but everything was absolutely as dry as a bone. It was terrible. But once cleaned up and given a complete lube and oil and service, as you can see, she's nice, and she's not noisy as well. If you listen to this, yeah, quite smooth. I do like Lima Locos when they're running sweet like this. They're every bit as good as anything else. What they lack in super detail, they easily outmatch that in performance. Very, very good. I'm quite confident that if I had a really big layout, that would quite happily pull 13 coaches, no problem. There's only 4 on at the moment, but I could easily surmise that would pull 13 coaches, no problem. Right, so we got both 33s in action now. We got this one, obviously the Lima one, pulling the rail tour of the BR coaches, and then coming around the track 2, the Super Duper 33, Lieutenant Jenny Lewis, Royal Navy, with those Raker bullies behind her. It's proper thrash day here on Little Beddington today. Some nice diesels running, I think. But I'm getting a bit of an itching for a bit of coal very soon. I like diesels, but only so much. I say that without being biased. But so far, that looks good today. Hope you've enjoyed these shots at home. Okay, so back with the Class 50, the Lima Class 50 again. I cannot stop playing with this thing. Not only does it look nice, I'm just really pleased with the way it runs, considering that it was absolutely caked in oil, enough to fry a plate of chips in. But just goes to show, with perseverance and a bit of TLC, you can do some good results. Interestingly enough, for those of you that are not sort of diesel fans or diesel clued up, the Class 50s had a very unique piece of equipment on board them. When they first came out, they had this this air cooling plant fitted inside them, and what it done, it was an air intake basically. So it sucked in air from the atmosphere to cool down the equipment inside for all the motors and bits and pieces. And they were nicknamed, and still to this day they're nicknamed Hoovers, because when this loco used to get going and the air intake plant used to fire up, it used to sound like a vacuum cleaner, and that's why they were called Hoovers. Pretty cool fact. There's a couple of examples out, obviously loads of examples. I wouldn't say couple, there's loads and loads and hundreds of videos on YouTube. Just look up on YouTube Class 50 Hoover sound and you'll see what I mean. But this is a very unique model because I didn't realise that this comes with actually a built-in sound effect. I didn't realise actually until I actually looked underneath. I wondered what there was like a little switch underneath the fuel tank was for. And yeah, check it out. Oh wow, that's a really interesting sound chip they've put in that Lima model. That is fantastic, so realistic. Listen to that air intake go. Rather noisy Hoover. Got you, didn't I? That was a good one. I thought that was quite funny. It almost had you fooled there. But someone out there said, no, that's not a Class 50 sound. But it does sound a little bit like that. You know, I'm not sure if what generation you're from, but I grew up in the sort of the 70s. And vacuum cleaners back in the 70s and 80s had that really high-pitched drone sound compared to good old Henry down there on the floor, which works very hard with my layouts up because it sucks up all the bits of dust and crud everywhere. Anyway, that's totally another topic. But anyway, let's get back to running some trains and be serious, or not. Okay, so I knew it wouldn't be long before we get a proper train running on the layout today. Like I said, I love vintage diesel and electric traction, but I'm a steam man through and through, and no exception today. We've got this lovely Bachmann Ginty in a weathered black. I've just finished off the front by putting some clinker and some ash on the front there underneath the smoke box, tiny bit, and that's all that needs doing with that. But she looks the part, putting that short rake of bully coaches round on this late Saturday afternoon in September 2024. We've done all the mad dashing about with the express trains and the diesel expresses and all that business, so this is my sort of relaxing run now. This is just as it is. I'll let the train do the talking. Okay, time for a little bit of nostalgia, just really quickly. This is the Hornby 1979 Hornby Railways catalogue, and if we look on this page here, which is, what page is it? Page 9. We've got this particular set, R784, the LMS London Midlands Scottish Local Goods Set. Now, I was just flicking through this the other day and something came to mind, and I thought to myself, actually got half of that, because I've got that LMS Ginty tank engine, I've got the blue North Stand wagon, I've got the red Texaco tank wagon, I've got a couple of the grey Barnott Coke wagons. So I've got that bit, that bit, that bit and that bit. I'm just missing an Arnold Sands wagon and a Bird's Eye frozen foods van, and you can get those on eBay. So I think what I'll have to do is source the Arnold Sands brown wagon and the Bird's Eye frozen food blue one, and then we'll have the complete set, minus obviously the track and everything else. But that would be a great idea. But yeah, I thought, oh, that's good. Anyway, just another point of useless information. So with about an hour or so left of natural daylight outside, it's starting to get a little bit gloomy outside, which gives a nice ambience for my model railway, I think, this time of the afternoon, leaving you with these closing shots. So I do hope you've enjoyed today's trains. I apologise if there wasn't enough trains today, but I was a little bit time constraint wise today. I was a bit tight, so I got in as much as I could, but there's always room for another video next weekend, definitely. And I do hope you've enjoyed the one that you've seen today. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the old like and subscribe buttons, you know the drill, and I will certainly see you in the next video next weekend. Take care now. Goodbye.